we just got to be better all around, I think, for 4 quarters, not just that last quarter.
On your right, Brandon.
Hey, Jamal, Brandon Cristal, KOA here in Denver. Coach came out, and the first thing he wanted to touch on was effort, and said he talked to you guys about that. Why do you think the effort was an issue, at least in his mind?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, they just played hard, and like I said, it was more discipline. It's defeating when you're giving up mistake after mistake, and it's not, dumb beating you. You're giving them open dunks or giving them open shots. So that's tough to come back from, and we just got to stay together and look ahead.
On your right, Vinny.
Vinny Benedetto with the Denver Gazette. Jamal, prior to tonight, the last time you guys lost was Nikola's 53-point night in Phoenix. Tonight he has 41 and another loss. Do you see that as being a coincidence, or do you feel like there's things you guys need to do better to take advantage of his big scoring nights?
No, it's I don't think it has anything to do with that. It's defense and discipline. Like I said, we just got to have an all-around game. We can't just have spurts of, second quarter good, end of the third good. We can't have spurts of good play. We got to play all the way through the ups and downs, stay together and play with intensity and energy. And I don't think we had that. We just piled them on, mistake after mistake, and we weren't able to come back for that. Even when we're up, it felt like we're trying to climb back into the game, just energy-wise and intensity-wise.
Second row, center.
Harrison Wynn, DNVR. Jamal, that last shot that you took end of the game right there, what'd you just think of that look, and do you like not calling a timeout there and just trying to create something within the flow of the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys see me hit that shot enough, so it was a good look, just didn't go down.
Chris in the front, you got the mic coming.
Chris Thomas in Denver Gazette. You guys have been so good at home in the playoffs, 9-0, outscoring foes by an average like 11.9 points a game. Are you surprised to lose at home, and especially with them having closing the game the way they did?
If we play like that, then we expect to lose like that. Yeah, I mean we can't play like that. So if we play away, home, on the road, doesn't matter. We gotta have a better showing.
Next question, standing on the right. Hold on one second.
Hi. Do you think Jokic only 4 assists in the game were a factor in the loss?
What'd you say?
Jokic only had 4 assists in the game. Do you think that was a factor in the loss?
No. He had 41 points. He's doing a lot. Yeah, he played a great game.
Any last question? Thank you, Jamal.
Yep.
First question on the right side.
Coach, Brandon Cristal from KOA here in Denver. Can you kind of, figure out why do you think your starters that weren't Joker struggled scoring, I guess?
Well, I don't think that's the biggest question. Now, let's talk about effort. I mean, this is the NBA Finals, and we're talking about effort. That's a huge concern of mine. And you guys probably thought I was just making up some storyline after game one when I said we didn't play well. We didn't play well. And tonight, that the starting lineup to start the game is 10-2 Miami. Start the third quarter, they scored 11 points in 2 minutes and 10 seconds. And we just got, we had guys out there that were just, whether feeling sorry for themselves for not making shots or thinking they can just turn it on or off. This is not the preseason. This is not the regular season. It's not round. This is the NBA Finals. And that to me is really, really perplexing, disappointing. And I asked the team, I asked our players, you guys tell me why we lost. And they knew the answer. Miami came in here and outworked us. And we were by far our least disciplined game of these 16 or 17 playoff games, whatever it is now. So many breakdowns. And they exploited every one of those breakdowns and scored. So if we're going to try to go down there and regain control of this series and get home court advantage back, we're going to have to outwork Miami, which we didn't do tonight, and our discipline is going to have to be off the charts.
Mike here on the left.
Mike Singer with the Denver Post. You mentioned the breakdowns. 17 of 35 from three Miami shot. I mean, how many of them were defensive breakdowns? You seem to call timeout on several of them. Maybe it's some miscommunications.
Oh, there's no maybe. Oh, there was definitely miscommunication. There was game plan breakdowns, personnel breakdowns. There were guys like Max Strus, and you know that Max, and I said it after game one, he's 0 for 9 in game one. You know he's going to make shots, and he got off to a really hot start tonight, cooled down a little bit, but he gets 10 threes off. Gabe Vincent gets 6 off. Kevin Love gets 6 off. Duncan Robinson gets 3 off. And those are guys that we're supposed to have a heightened awareness to. And as I mentioned after game one, the fact that they got 16 wide open threes was concerning. They didn't make them. And so we got lucky in game one. Tonight they made them. So it was definitely a breakdown in communication. It was definitely a breakdown in our game plan. And like I said, we just were not nearly as disciplined as you need to be in the NBA Finals.
Third row on your right.
Coach Dan Devine, Yahoo Sports. It seemed like you had some success earlier in the game, smothering that Bam Robinson DHO, and it seemed to give you a lot more trouble in the fourth quarter. I'm wondering what changed in terms of the way you were approaching that or the guys who were executing it.
Well, I'd have to watch the film. I mean, give them credit. They play with tremendous pace, and they never let up. And so we got to make sure we're doing a better job of getting our energy up and not letting them outwork us and create separation and kind of put us in a spin cycle, which they did quite a few times. I mean, fourth quarter defense, I felt for 3 quarters tonight, actually, the defense was pretty good. I believe going into the fourth quarter, they were shooting 43%. But in the fourth quarter, you give up 36 points on 69% from the field. That's not going to cut it, man. That's not going to cut it.
Back left.
Michael Young, so ESPN. How did they make everything such a struggle after that big run in that second quarter? It looked like they were content to let Jokic kind of score and take away everybody around it. But how did they make everything such a struggle in the offensive end?
Well, I felt, I felt the way Nikola closed that third quarter was tremendous. It kind of got us a little bit of rhythm going into that fourth quarter, gave us a little bit of breathing room, and then they started the fourth quarter 13-2. To me, the wheels fell off, really fell off to start that fourth quarter. And they were getting whatever they wanted, threes, layups, and that allowed them once again to sit back in their zone offense, slow the game down. And we had a hard time getting stops, and then we had a hard time getting made baskets on the other end. So our defense has to be a hell of a lot better. That's 2 fourth quarters now in game 1 and 2 where our fourth quarter defense has been non-existent.
Right here in the front.
Coach Mateo Mayorga, 5 Reasons Sports. Sticking with the three-point shooting, how much higher do pickup points have to be against Miami's three-point shooters following up in the series?
Well, you have to understand who you're guarding. KYP discipline. So if you're guarding a Duncan Robinson, a Gabe Vincent, a Kevin Love, a Max Strus, you have to guard them at the 4-point line. I believe, talking about lack of discipline, I think we fouled at least 3 jump shooters tonight. So then you have to have the discipline to contest without fouling, getting a hand up, giving them a place to land, whatever it may be. So, Jamal had a great look at the end, and I told the guys, if we would have won this game tonight, we would have stole one. And it didn't happen. The shot didn't go in, and we lose by 3 points. But, yeah, the three-point line is a huge concern coming in. The number 1 3-point shooting team in these playoffs, and did a decent job in game 1 by the numbers. But tonight, they buried us.
Chris?
Yeah, Chris Thomas in Denver Gazette. Everybody, you've been so good at home in these playoffs. Everybody talks about the altitude, all that kind of stuff. How surprised were you that they had the final closing kick there tonight?
Yeah, I think the altitude too much is made of that. I think, and Miami's been here for probably like a week now, so they're acclimated. And so I really don't think that's the reason why we've won games at home. I think our players deserve credit, our fans deserve credit.